Hi, everyone. Thanks for joining our Clinic Talk podcast. Today, we have a special guest, Eric Nichols, physical therapist from Movement Medicine Physical Therapy in Atlanta, Georgia. Eric, how you doing today?
I'm doing well. How are you doing, Steve?
Good. Thank you for asking. So we're excited to get to know you a little bit, and about your practice. So, can you tell us a little background on what type of therapist you are and what practice you are running?
Yeah, absolutely. So I've been a physical therapist for almost a decade now. I specifically work in sports medicine and orthopedics. But really here over the past 5 years or so, really focused on performance-based rehab. So working with athletes not only to rehab from their injuries, but also improve their performance on the field. So, do a lot of work specifically with overhead and rotational athletes. So a lot of baseball and golf, but also tennis, volleyball, um, pretty much your typical sports.
Cool. Awesome. And what made you decide to become a physical therapist?
Yeah, so played sports growing up, specifically played baseball growing up, and always wanted to stay around sports and find a job in the sports field. So uh, fortunately was able to start shadowing some local physical therapists while I was studying my undergrad in exercise and health science, and then fortunately that led to getting into physical therapy school and becoming a therapist.
Awesome. Oh, cool. Awesome. Thanks for sharing that. So, and what made you decide on your niche? Is that because you played sports or you wanted to help others playing sports? Did that play a role?
Correct. Yep. Absolutely. So wanted to get into the sports world in some way, shape, or form, and also really enjoy working with others and helping others achieve their goals. So physical therapy fit right in there.
Awesome. Yes, for sure. Cool. And is Atlanta, Georgia, where you grew up, or did you move there to start a practice? What does that look like?
Yeah. So great. Yeah. Great question. Great question. So grew up in down in Columbus, Georgia, which is about 2 hours south of Atlanta, and then lived a little bit in Noonan, Georgia as well, which is just south of Atlanta through my high school years, and then uh, led to going to Kennesaw State University, which is just north of Atlanta. So always been in the Atlanta area. Lived and worked in Athens at a sports medicine private practice when I first graduated. Um, First graduated from physical therapy school, and then eventually ended up taking a position down in Atlanta. And about 2 years ago, ended up opening my own practice.
Cool. Awesome. Cool. So as far as your practice goes, what was the inspiration behind finding your practice?
Absolutely. So when I first started out, I knew I wanted to work in orthopedics and sports medicine, and was able to do
Mhm.
that in Athens. And then also worked at another hospital-based clinic in the Atlanta area. But unfortunately, in working in those practices, I really wasn't able to holistically address my clients and athletes as well as I wanted to. Where we're pretty limited due to insurance restrictions and productivity requirements. So uh, that's when I really started wanting to look into some options of opening up my own clinic and taking care of my clients and athletes the way I believe they should be taken care of. So that's what ultimately led me to jumping ship and taking the leap of faith and opening my own practice.
That's awesome. Well said. That's great. So you saw the need, and you were tired of restrictions from where you were working, and you decided to turn your dream into reality by opening up your own practice. That's really cool. And Eric, tell us, do you have a partner in this business, or is it just you that just took this thing and made your own business?
Yeah. So, in regards to the physical therapy practice, I am the sole owner. I do have some additional therapists that help out and help me out on a part-time base. But we actually work with a partnership with a local baseball training facility. So well, more so of a partnership, rather a business partner. But um, as far as the physical therapy practice, I'm the sole owner. Yeah.
So very cool. And was it hard for you to come out because you opened up your practice like you said 2 years after becoming going out of school? Is that correct? So how did you put everything together to bring it to life? Is it something you did research on? Did somebody help you set up your practice? Because it's not always easy just jumping in and opening up your practice. So it's definitely a rewarding experience. So if you can share with us how you got to where you are today.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. So, uh, when I took the position to work for a hospital-based clinic in Atlanta, I took that role as a clinic director to learn a little more of the business side of physical therapy. So, knew that I wasn't quite ready to open up my own practice at that point, but wanted to manage a clinic and learn the management side of it. And then after doing that for about 5 years, I reaching out to members in the community and sharing my goals with other members of our community, both in the healthcare world as well as in the sports world, is which really allowed me to make those contacts in order to find a location as well as make sure that we put our clinic in a good situation to see athletes. As most of your insurance-based clinics, unfortunately, are just not designed to allow you to throw a baseball with your clients or, work on swinging or kicking a football or kicking a soccer ball. So, really looked into looking into some different sports training facilities that had some space available to come in and offer our physical therapy services there.
Awesome. Awesome. Thanks, Eric, for sharing that. And what was it about kind of the key steps in turning your vision into a reality for your practice? Do you have any kind of outline on that or anything you could share from that perspective?
Yeah, most definitely. So, networking was definitely one of the most important things.
Hmm.
I knew I was ready to open up my own practice when I had reached a point in my career where clients and athletes were referred to me specifically, rather referred to the clinic, and then just ended up on my schedule.
That's
So
great.
that's really was the tell kind of sign of, hey, I'm ready to open up my own position. So then networking with some coaches in the community, as well as hitting and pitching instructors, was huge to find a location was the big thing. So I knew that I did not want to be in a standalone building. We wanted to be somewhere that athletes are in and out of every day. That way we can utilize that connection and that partnership to help increase referrals as well. But um, on the flip side, also being able to better serve our athletes by having physical therapy on site as well as their training. So if a player is injured or has pain during maybe their pitching lesson or their hitting lesson, we can be right on site to provide a medical
Yeah,
evaluation and help guide them in the right direction.
that's awesome. Yeah, it makes sense, right? That's where you want to be,
Yep.
like right in there with them. Awesome. So one of the things you mentioned, a topic I do want to bring up, like referrals. But before I mention that, and you share with us a little more about that, I do want to ask you about like how you're running your business now. So, do you take insurance? Are you cash based? Are you do a little bit of both? What does that structure look like?
Yeah. So initially, we did try to get in network with most of the major insurance providers, but unfortunately, we're bullied a little bit being a small and new clinic. So we made the quick transition pivot to cash based service. So We do have the ability, and we provide the ability to submit claims for our clients. So we're able to submit those claims on their behalf, but we do require that our clients pay for our services up front. That way we can be sure to keep our lights on and continue to provide our services.
Gotcha. Okay, so it sounds like you take out of network insurances, you give a super bill, you bill for those, and you collect the cash. Correct?
Cor Correct, yeah, we kind of utilize the term of courtesy billing, so, we go ahead and collect the payment up front, but then we do submit the claim to our client's insurances stating that, "Hey, they have paid for the service, but here's the super bill," uh, for reimbursement purposes for the client.
Excellent. Cool. Thank you for sharing that. And then you said you do have employees, right? So you have therapists, and you mentioned they're part time or they mix full time or part time. And how many employees do you have?
Yeah, so, I've got 4 other therapists actually that help out. We do a lot of Major League Baseball training, specifically in the off season. So from October to just about now, spring training is when we have a lot of clients that are training with us every day. So we end up having a little more of our therapist in with us on a regular basis during the off season to help take care of everyone. And then they also help out. They all help out on a part time basis during the remainder of the year.
Cool. Very cool. Okay. Awesome. And what about aside from your therapist? What does your team look like? Do you have like front desk? Do you have someone that does scheduling, billing, any back office work?
Yeah. So we have a an outside third party billing team that they're not on site at all. Um they actually don't they're not even in our state. So they help out with all the billing and submitting all the claims and keeping track of the claims. We do not have a front desk. That was one of my goals as I was opening the clinic, was to streamline the intake process, automate the intake process, and keep all of that online. That way, when our athletes are here, we're here and we're working on addressing their shoulder or their elbow, rather wasting time sitting in the waiting room. We like to just get right to work. So we have a pretty nice system that streamlines that process. We talk on the phone with our athletes before they ever come in the door. That way we can just get to work and start addressing them and helping them reach their goals.
I like that. I love that actually. So you want to minimize anything outside of therapy, and once they come in, they're ready for therapy. So that's really cool. Okay, excellent. And yeah, as far as your business goes, what reports do you run reports to track the health of your business? Like, how do you manage to make sure? Because essentially you're the sole entrepreneur for this for your practice, right? So how do you measure the health of your business to keep track of referrals, your documentation, billing, things like that?
Yeah, absolutely. So we do have a electronic health record system, right? So, or an electronic medical record system that we use that keeps everything online. So there's no paper, because I'm a big hater of, yeah, paper and paper charts and intake forms and so on and so forth. So everything is online. So that is obviously, key to our success is having an efficient electronic medical record system, but also keeping it very simple. That way our therapists and myself are not wasting our time looking at our computers, trying to do all of our notes all day. We try to keep it really simple, and make sure that we're focusing on addressing our clients' needs while they're here.
Excellent. Cool. So going back to, because you have a unique practice, right? So this is a really, really nice niche, right? Sports medicine. So when you started, did this come out as like a part-time gig for you, or were you busy from the get-go?
Yeah. So initially, I started actually just kind of coming in and helping out. So it was part time per se. Um, that's when, as I had started to get busier and busier here at Movement Medicine, is when I was able to go down to more of a part time role at the clinic that I was working at previously. So tried to do it as safely as I could and efficiently as I could. As one business grew, I slowed down um, at my prior role. Yeah, so started part time and then was able to then continue to grow and go over here full time.
Excellent. Awesome. So, how do your referrals find you? How do your referral sources? Is it the actual athlete that finds you and reaches out to you, or does a doctor kind of recommend them to you? What does that look like?
Yeah, so we do have some local physicians that do send us referrals. Most of them are baseball specific physicians or sports medicine specific physicians as well. So that is a little bit of our referral source, but the majority of our referrals are more so coaches. Baseball coaches or a golf coach or a hitting instructor or pitching instructor. As now especially in the community and in the sports world, PT is so well known. We try to eliminate that step of the need to go see a physician if it's something we know that's within our scope of practice and, we're able to address it right away, we'd rather them just come right in and start addressing that injury as soon as possible. That way we can optimize outcomes.
Excellent, excellent. So tell us a little bit about those strategies and outcomes, because you do use unique techniques for your practice, right? That are not standard. Can you share a little bit about that?
Yeah, absolutely. So, what we really focus on and I educate all of our clinicians to do is really have a good, healthy, systematic approach. And so by doing so, we're able to then optimize our outcomes and optimize our athletes' performance. So now we are living in the future with a lot of 3D motion capture and force plates are a big thing now. So we do have some 3D motion uh, capture kind of movement assessment that we do, as well as utilize a lot of force plates and dynamometers that will allow us to specifically assess strength and range of motion, as well as mobility and movement patterns. And we utilize that for our athletes to see how they're moving and give them that good feedback, not only of us saying, hey, yeah, I tested your shoulder and your shoulder's weak, but they can actually objectively see, oh, my right shoulder produced 100 newtons and my left shoulder produced 150 newtons. So those athletes being able to see those numbers and as well as see themselves move on the TV screen or on the computer screen really allows them to have a better understanding of how they move and then have a better understanding of how they can improve their movement, um, as well as their strength and power output from our force plate data.
That's excellent, Eric. I love that. So essentially, the your patient actually visually sees how they're progressing. Do you track that data over time, like over every visit? Is that kind of encapsulated in their goals, or do they have their own log that they can kind of track how they're doing?
Yeah, absolutely. So, say someone comes in for their first visit or their first assessment, all of that data that we collect and videos that we collect are recorded, and then they're able to see that as we also utilize an app. So it's basically like a coaching online coaching app. So they can pull up their app, they can look and see at their movement assessment, they can see their strength scores, and then when it is time for a reassessment, we'll go through that same process that we did during that initial evaluation, and they're able to see, oh, your shoulder strength increased 20%, or your squat your hip flexion during your squat increased 10%, meaning they're getting more depth in their squat, or their ankle mobility improved 5%. So them being able to also visually see their improvements in movement and strength and force production really helps with buy-in, more so than anything. But then also we're able to very specifically, objectively measure their improvement from a mobility, strength, power um, category, right?
Excellent. No, that makes total sense. And then as far as them also doing anything like you prescribe them, do you prescribe them home exercises to do as well? Or does everything happen in your clinic? Because it sounds like you do have some cutting edge technology that that they wouldn't have access to outside of your clinic.
Correct. Yeah. So every case is different, but all of our clients will get their home exercise program assigned to them on their app, and then with the app comes video demonstration. So there's videos of us doing the exercises, and also a written demonstration. So a nice little description under each video to help remind them. So if it's a rehabber per se, their home exercise program is listed on there. But if they're training with us more so for a performance standpoint, their programming is on there as well. So they're able to execute their programming both in our facility, but then also at their high school weight training class or their college university's weight room. That way we can, again, really focus on our goals, which is holistically addressing each athlete to optimize and improve their performance.
Excellent, thank you. And I'm just curious here. I know because I also deal with orthopedics, not sports, but it's always hard to get patients to adhere to home exercise, right? And that's something common I hear across the board. You deal with more athletes and professional athletes. Would you say that they are more inclined to make sure that they're adhering to the home exercise programs that you're providing?
Yeah, I will say that definitely our clientele and athletes are obviously extremely motivated to get better. Because the biggest thing for a lot of them are they're working to get a job. So if they're a
Yeah.
professional athlete, that is their job, is to perform at a high level. So the adherence is easier on our side. I will say the challenge is really utilizing our tools and our technology here to specifically design a program to address their individual needs. So, we're able to really spend our time and saying, hey, you need to really improve your right shoulder external rotation, your left hip internal rotation, and your right ankle dorsiflexion. And here's the specific program for you that you need to start working on each week in order to address those deficits. So, yeah, the motivation is there for these guys because they love to play the sport, that whichever sport they play, whether that's baseball, football, soccer. So it is a little easier to motivate them to do their home exercise programs for sure.
Awesome. Yeah. No, I figured that, but we have patients that you're trying to treat and they also have work to do. And sometimes it's so hard to get them to complete their exercises. It's like a chore, but at the end of the day, it's for them. So I would figure all
Correct.
athletes, they do want to get a job, they want to get stronger. So I appreciate you sharing that. Cool. Awesome, Eric.
Yeah.
And just to wrap up, any recommendations you have for other practitioners that are also in kind of a position where they can be working somewhere, maybe they're feeling unappreciated, underpaid, or productivity, and they also want to break out and start their own practice. Any recommendations you have for someone like that?
Yeah, absolutely. So, I think the first step would be is to look around in your community and see what some other therapists are doing. It's very easy to just look on your typical job sites and see what other jobs are out there. I think the unfortunate reality is most of those jobs are all going to be pretty much the same. So, if you're in one kind of outpatient physical therapy clinic per se, if you're looking at other outpatient physical therapy clinics, more times than not, that job is going to be very similar. So, branching out and looking out to see maybe there's some more so untraditional clinics that you'd be more interested in for sure. I think not being or I should probably reword that as more so of being confident in the skills that we provide as therapists, and how important we can really make an impact and help our community be healthier, not only from a musculoskeletal standpoint, but there's plenty more within our practice act that you can do to uh, help our members in the community be more healthy and be better movers in general. So, um, going out there and finding some clients that you see on the side, or I started out with doing home visits, so going over to an athlete's home and seeing them after work, or going to a local rec center and seeing if you can help out there on the side, is a great way to kind of step outside of the traditional insurance based clinics, and really allow yourself to grow and be better known in your community on the skill sets that you have. And then that should ideally roll into you being able to go out on your own and open up your own practice.
Excellent. That was well put. So I like a few things you said there. Number one is confidence, right? So being confident allows you to kind of break out into your own practice as well. So that's important. And then untraditional, right? That's also important because you're just going to get in the mix of the same thing over and over again. So it's nice to kind of see what else is out there at an untraditional perspective as well. So that's important. So thanks, Eric, for sharing that. And last question I have for
Absolutely.
you, Eric. Just what are your long-term goals for your practice for movement medicine? Did you think about that yet, or you want to build a legacy? You want to franchise? What do you think from that standpoint?
Yeah, absolutely. So I get this question often, and the answer often changes as well. So, my first goal really was to take care of athletes and clients the way, and patients the way that I believe that they should be taken care of, and we've definitely checked that box here. So now my goal is to help share with other clinicians of, hey, this is my system and this is the system that we use. And this is how you can implement this system into your treatment and your practice. That way you can help better take care of individuals. I think we as physical therapists really have a great opportunity right now to help improve the overall health in our community, as we're seeing more and more. A lot of the diagnosis that we're seeing in America per se is really just summarized in as metabolic syndrome. So they're not strong, they don't move enough, and they need to exercise more. So um, that is the biggest thing right now, is not only helping improve our athletes per se, improve their movement and movement efficiency and body mechanics, but helping those in the community learn how to start a regular exercise routine and be better movers, which was of course kind of coined the term of movement medicine here. So
Excellent. I love that. Be better movers. I think we all need a little bit more of movement. I think it benefits everyone. Excellent, Eric.
uh,
Awesome. Do you have any questions for me? Otherwise, I learned a lot. I think everyone would appreciate what you had to say. So I think it's great.
yeah, awesome, thank you. Yeah, and sorry, remind me, where are you located?
I'm in New York. We're in New York here, in New York City.
Okay.
So we got a little
Yeah.
bit of warmer weather today. You guys in Atlanta, I'm assuming have better weather than we have now.
Yeah, we are getting better weather. For sure. Yeah, it's warming up a little bit, but it's been cold. It's been a cold winter here. for sure. Yeah.
Yeah, we had definitely some extra snow. So cool. Awesome. Eric, I appreciate your time. Thank you very much for sharing. Congratulations on your success. It's awesome and keep moving.
Thanks. Yeah, absolutely.